Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on FIFA 19. This is a Sporting Kansas City Manager career mode here as we're inside the Cauldron here today, and this is episode number 6 as we are taking a quick look here at some of the moves we made here for the transfer window here. As you take a look here right now, we have 61 points right now, leading in the West right now. Minnesota with 43, Seattle with 41, Dallas at 39, LA Galaxy at 38, and of course ran out the bottom 6 there, or the top 6 there. Real Salt Lake at 35 points. So you take a look at the rest of the table there and see how things go. We're of course playing very, very well here, and we'll continue playing well here. Take a look at the East there. Philadelphia and Columbus Crew have been going back and forth here with the Eastern Division or Eastern Conference there. Atlanta right there at 44. Impact, Red Bulls, and DC United. They're pretty much right now neck and neck in that Eastern Conference right now. You know, with a couple more matches, we got 2 months left of the season here. Things can really start shaking up here for a lot of teams here if they play some good football. So, and of course, we're going to be watching there for, you know, kind of pay attention to some of those Eastern Conference teams because we'll have to see those matchups there. And of course, I'm going to have to look up some of the information on, you know, who we played against well. And so far, I think we've been playing well. I mean, we only lost 2 games, and both of those games were against, or one of those games were against Western Conference teams. Of course, Seattle and then Portland. But there you take a look here. We're looking at some of the players here on our short list for the upcoming transfer window here. I'm looking at strikers still to this day. So looking at strikers here. But we are looking for some right backs and some left backs, as of course we're trying to find a guy to replace the void over there in the right back position. That with Zusi, who went to the Premier League there. They purchased him, and of course there you see one of our guys that we're going to be looking at here to see here, one of the Seattle Sounders guys, one of the young guys here. We're looking for some young guys here. I was looking at possibly getting some players from the Premier League that are young, but of course the Premier League, nope, we're not selling him. We'll loan him. And of course I was looking at some of the loans there. I'm like, yeah, we don't have that kind of money. So you know, we're sparingly trying to find guys here. And of course, like I said when we started this series, this is going to be you know, we don't have Premier League type money, so we're really going to have to really focus in on, of course, our youth academy, which we have been, which has been very, you know, so far it's been successful. I've found some pretty good young guys here to help us out there in the youth academy, but we want to find some guys that are already established here, because some of the guys there in the youth academy, it's going to be a while before we see them come up. Now, of course, now you can train them and stuff like that and everything, but we kind of need some guys here to help us out here, and that's one of them right there. Michael, I'm going to butcher the name, so I apologize right now. Moralo, he is from Panama, and I've been kind of keeping my eye on him. He's 22 years of age. He's 72 overall. Now, Graham was at 72 overall at 32. So just imagine what we can do with this young man here, who's at 22 and 72 overall. So I can see him possibly maybe in the mid 80s by the time he's into his career here. So we are going to look at him. I was kind of looking at his numbers there. Pretty, you know, decent numbers for a right back there. Basically, we just got to make sure he plays some good defense and can be able to, you know, get the ball out of the range there, and just make sure that he can get that ball back to the midfield there, and of course to our forwards. So we're going to look at him here. I think we're going to try to purchase him from the Red Bulls there. You see what his value is there, and of course we're going to try to negotiate with him, but let's see, the club isn't willing to sell, but you can talk to the but you can pay his release clause. Now you see his release clause there, so the club won't sell him, but we can play his release clause and then we can negotiate with the player himself. So I think that's what we're going to try to do here. Take a look here. We're looking at negotiations right now, and that was some of the things that are going on here. And these negotiations are so intense here, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning here, and that's what this series is about, trying to learn from what's going on in this. And this has been a while since I've seen this footage here, so I do apologize here. I am starting a new series with the Wolves, but you know, I want to know from you guys, you know, negotiation wise, what are the best things, what are some key things I should be focusing on negotiation? Because in some ways I kind of feel like I'm like, the whole time it's like I feel like I'm missing something, or maybe overpaying him, or what the case may be. He's been fully scouted and everything, so I figured, you know, he's 22 years of age. We want to keep him around here for quite a while here. So by the time he leaves here, he'll be 26. So he should be in his prime. I imagine somewhere in the low or the upper 70s, maybe creeping up there, maybe somewhere around the mid 80s by the time he gets to 26 there. See the negotiations there, and we decided to just go with 4 years here. And then you see his current wages right now at $5,900. So we're going to try to see what that's about there. We do have quite a bit for our transfer window, and you know, 31,000 there in our budget, our wage budget there. And I sometimes for a while there I was kind of confused, like, okay, what is what and all that. So I had to do some looking up here, and I had a friend of mine help me out here. But I just don't want to overpay someone that, you know, doesn't deserve it. At the same time, I want to kind of keep some of the core of Sporting Kansas City, some of the recognizable players there, because you'll see here later on we do get an offer for Basler, one of our backs. I believe he's our center back there, and I don't want to get rid of him. He's a good guy. He's a local guy at that. He's from the Kansas City, the KC metro area. So he's kind of one of those faces that we want to kind of keep on the team and kind of build around him defensively, and just, you know, a homegrown guy. You know, we want to do that. So that's what we're trying to do here. But right now we're still trying to do the negotiations here with Michael here. And you know, at this time I was kind of like, okay, you know, his wages, you know, I don't want to undercut him, but at the same time I don't want to overdo it. I don't, you know, over anything. I believe the rule was anything over 10,000 was like signed as a designated player, and we're not going to do that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go with 6,000, and I believe we're going to go submit the offer here. We don't offer a. I feel like we're going to keep him around there. Now, I kind of figured so now that I think about it, I kind of wish I kind of just put a release clause on just in case he decides to up and leave at any point there, especially when he starts getting better and better. So we do go ahead and we do sign him. So he is part of our squad now, and of course he will be part of the not part of the rotation, but he'll be part of the starting 11 there for Sporting Kansas City here for the rest of this season, and of course going into season number 2. So take a look here. We're looking at some strikers, and this is one area that I've been looking at, and there's some pretty good strikers here. Looking for somebody young, of course, somebody we can build around, but of course at the same time we got to keep our eye out for some possible strikers that we have for our youth academy that I've been scouting, and so far those scouts or those have not been finished just yet, but by looking at some of the earlier looks at them and stuff like that, we might have some pretty good, might have 1 or 2 good decent strikers coming through our system there in our youth academy, but we won't know until probably till close to the end of the season here. So we're looking at a couple of strikers here, and there's a couple of caught my eye there, but then again, some of them are the ones I were looking at were in the Premier League, and of course those are going to be expensive players, and we just don't have the budget to really to go that direction there. Maybe if we could find somebody young, but of course if we do find somebody young, there's a good chance they're not going to sell him, or he's not worth. They're going to sell him, and he's not worth what they're asking for. We're basically overpaying for a player that probably will never see the light of the day, never be on the pitch. So I'm trying to be very wary of that. I know a buddy of mine said that, you know, you kind of have to watch out for that. You know, and I'm willing to take some chances here, but in some areas I'm not. There's a player right there from Ghana we were looking at. It was a possibility there. And then this guy right here. What else? We got a couple, and then of course I was looking at some MLB guys, some young guys there, and just nothing really just you know, caught my eye or screaming at me or anything like that. So the striker position here, we're just going to kind of put that on the back burner for right now. Possibly look at the next transfer window, which will be in the winter time after the season's over with, and so we'll continue working with of course Herrero, I think that's how you say his name. I probably butchered it, but anyway, and of course shoot, I can't think of his name now. Nemo. We're still working. We have him as our striker there. So you know, no differences of formations here. We do need to start the backup, our second string striker. He's been asking for some playing time here, and he should, because right now we're not really too worried about you know, losses or anything. Best we can do, you know, if anything, just pull draws out coming up for the rest of the season with a lot of teams here. And of course we will be simming quite a bit here. I've already got a schedule of how the games are going to be coming up here. So I believe the next episode, this one is, I think, 15. So I think there's like at least after 15, I'm not sure if it's 15 or not. Let's just say it's 15. There should be at least 3 more episodes after that to end the regular season. So I don't know. The next episode should be coming up here pretty soon. I'm actually filming some of it as I'm talking right now. Getting some of the information or some of the footage here for. Well, I've actually doubled. Actually, this episode I was actually filming for this episode, and also for the next episode coming up here. Because I almost forgot. I was almost put. Originally, this footage was going to be the episode 15, which I think that is the next episode coming up. And then I realized, I'm like, no, I gotta look at my schedule. I'm like, no, I gotta do a video for this. So the Cauldron episode. So yeah, I had to flip flop some stuff around here and whatnot here. But there you see, we found some left backs that we're also possibly looking at here that have a good chance here that we can look at. And again, some really good players here I was looking at here. A couple of young MLS players that we can go after. And of course, you know, try to build around. But, you know, of course, again, we want to try to go in the position of someone that is somewhat established. Someone that's been already in MLS for a while now and could have easily come off the bench and get some playing time in. You know, right now they could be with a team that just right now is too overloaded. And of course, like I said, I'm willing to sell players that are kind of getting you know, over that 32 years of age, and if they want to go to the Premier League like we did with Zusi, then you know, that's what we'll do. So here you see a young man here from Cameroon, and he's 21 years of age. I'm not gonna say his name. Noham. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, he is a young man that we're looking at here, and I was really going back and forth with him. Of course, Jose Hernandez there, a young guy there for Atlanta United, and from Venezuela. We was looking at him, 21 years of age, 63 overall. And then, of course, there was a couple of Premier League guys that we were looking at. And again, you know, some of them was not worth the chance of trying to, you know, pay them the money they were looking for or asking for in wages and stuff like that. So we decided to go with this young man here, and we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can purchase him from Seattle, and of course, you know, transfer fee and all that kind of stuff. Again, you know, if you guys tell me, seeing the video, you know, if you're watching the video here, let me know, did I overpay, did I underpay? Because I'm still trying to learn here of exactly what to do and see what's fair, because honestly, I don't want to, you know, overstep anything, and that's why I kind of lowball them some in some areas here, but then at the same time, you don't want to lowball them, because if you lowball them, especially way too low, they're like, nope, don't want to talk to you. So, you know, and then, you know, the negotiation after that, just stop. You know, you're like, okay, like, crap. You know, I don't. So you know, you have to try again. You know, so I know. I mean, this is like I said, this was a series. This was gonna be just a fun little series I was gonna start and just kind of get the ins and outs of how things are gonna work. As you see, they're just kind of pondering here. This is the part of the video I was kind of like, okay, what do I actually, you know, what do we, you know, should we go half? Should we ask for half price? You know, because he hasn't, you know, he's a backup kind of guy, and he's gonna come off the bench. So should we ask for half of what he's worth, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we were, you know, I was really debating here. I was trying to crunch some numbers here at this point. As you can tell, the look on his face, he's probably like, what are you doing? I'm like, just put a number out there. But, you know, like I said, I didn't want to try to overpay and have something just be out there and just like, okay, you know, you guys watch the video like, what was he thinking? Like, yeah. So let me know down below in the comment section what you guys, you know, you'll see here. I think I said 1,000, or yeah, what is it, 1 million? You know, I can't remember. Yeah, 13,000. So, not 13,000. Jeez, I can't do math. But we'll see here. We make the you know, a sign, and they look, no, you know, they'll accept you know, 1,000, or yeah, it's 1 million, 1.9 mil, and you know, I'm like, yeah, no, not good. you know, because it shows his current value right now, and I'm thinking like, yeah, nah, that's too much. So we go ahead and try another, try to make a decent one here, and I'm hoping it's decent. So I think we go, okay, I thought we'd go with 5, but we end up going with 6, and we'll see if they'll take that. So we'll see what he says here. And of course, at this point, when I was doing this video, or, you know, recording this, I'm like, oh, please don't let him storm out of here. Like, we kind of need him as a backup. And yeah, there you see, yeah, sorry, just not on our price. So it's kind of set there. So okay, I was thinking like, okay, so I kind of know where they want to go here. Let's try to, you know, try to find something here. So we'll counter that, and we'll go with something else here. And I can't, like I said, this has been a while since I've seen this footage here, so I apologize. So yeah, pretty much this guy's really thinking like, okay, well, what are you gonna pick? We'll see here. I think we go ahead, and yeah, we submit a different transfer fee. So yeah, we're gonna try to maybe get close to that number they're asking for here. There you see 7. Yeah, we'll go with 1.7, and maybe some change here. Yeah, 1 point. Yeah. So okay, so you know that I you know, I was like, okay, I kind of know what they want now. You know, let's try to negotiate somewhere between there, and let's see if they go accept it. Please tell me if you guys accept this here or not. And yeah, okay, so they're gonna go accept that here, and he is going to be a part of our squad. So they are going to accept the transfer fee there, and of course that means we're gonna have to pay that out. So now we have a chance now to talk to him and his agent about a you know, possible chance here for him to sign with us and negotiate a contract here. And of course, you know, we tell him straight up front, he's going to be a rotation guy, you know. And you know, right now our squad's kind of, you know, set where we want it at right now. And they, you know, of course, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they go ahead and say, yeah, we go ahead and we'll take that. That's great. And that's a role he's willing to take. So, you know, and then of course, you know, if like I said, we got a couple guys that I've been kind of thinking about putting out there. And you know, he could easily be, you know, if you know, if we do sell a couple other players over the course of this, you know, going to the playoffs and see how well we do in the playoffs, and then the next transfer window there, he could be a starter. I mean, he's easily could be a starter there for the left back position, because we are going to get rid of Seth. Seth is sold. I think I said that in the last episode there. So we did sign Seth, so he could easily move into that left back position there and take over for Seth for next season. And then in a lot of ways how this is when I was setting, you know, kind of recording this and looking at the roster, I was like, wow, that actually kind of works out here. So, you know, he can move from a rotation for right now, move around the rotation, and then finally, you know, move up to the starting 11 for next year. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's just slightly better than Seth in that position there. So I think he's like maybe 2 points higher overall, I think, because I think Seth is like 66. So I think if I'm correct, I think that really works out for us there. And like I said, he's a young guy there, 21 years of age. With the experience he could have, I mean, he could be a low 80s overall type of guy once he gets into his prime there. You know, once he gets in his mid 20s, early 30s there. So, and then you see some other requirements here that they're asking for here. And at this point here, I was kind of like, you know what? Yeah, we can work on this. So, again, apologize. I'm not sure what I said here in this one here, but yeah, we go ahead and accepted that, and we decided, you know, that was going to work best for us. Yeah. Now that I think about it, I think I was like, okay, at this point, we got him. Let's just let's just run with it. So, like I said, I'm still trying to work on negotiations here. I'm actually going to hang out with another friend of mine. I think I've talked about it here on the channel before, but my buddy Joe, he's really good at this and understand negotiation wise and like that. So I'll definitely, actually, he usually watches this series. So Joe, if you are watching this, let me know how well I did in those negotiations there. In some ways, I kind of feel like, okay, we seem like we got a pretty good deal out of this. You know, it looks good. You know, it works out because he'll eventually be in the road. You know, he'll be in the starting 11. So, you know, it works out. I think. But go ahead and here, we'll see here as we wrap up the episode. There you see some of the strikers again we were looking at here, because we're just got a couple of hours left in the transfer window, and I was just trying to see if we can find any chance here to find some late minute chances to make some deals here with a couple of players and maybe or a team or two. Like I said, don't really have the budget to some players we have a chance to buy players, but at the same time we don't, loan wise I think it would be better for us. But I think just sitting here, I was kind of going through all this. I was kind of like, you know what, let's just find some local MLS guys that we can find that they're young and they don't have a big overall, but at some point here, working with them, training them, and to get them some experience on the pitch there, they could be some decent guys there to help us out coming up next season. So there you see, of course, we got Nemo there in the reserves. He will eventually be brought up because, like I said, we got Gerardo there at the top of the there on the pitch there, as he's going to be playing striker here because he wants some playing time here, and we tell him that this next game he could do that here. But there you see, for the most part here, not much has changed there, and so pretty much we should, we got a game coming up here. I forgot who it is, but we should be able to do fine here. Like I said, we do got a couple games here coming up here in the next few months. We've got still quite a bit of soccer to play, but some of the matchups I have set up for us, or we have set up, should work out in our favor here, and we are going to be simming quite a bit. So I know the next, now as I think about it, the next episode is Seattle, so we are going to go play Seattle in Seattle, try to get revenge on them, because if you remember, we lost 3-1 at home against them. They're the one of the 2 teams that beat us this season. Both at home, matter of fact, I was thinking about Portland was the other team that did a number on us. So, of course, we beat Portland in the U.S. Cup, and of course, we do have the U.S. Cup game coming up here very, very soon. I forgot who we're playing in that, but that should be coming up here pretty soon. Colorado, that's who it is, in the finals of that. So we could possibly bring home a U.S. Hunt Cup there, the U.S. Open Cup there, and that should be a nice one there. So there you see Seattle. In that episode, you'll see that Seattle game. And of course, we'll sim the Orlando City game because Orlando's not playing really well right now. I believe they're in last place in the East, and then I believe a bottom 6 team there in the West. There will be San Jose, the Fighting Wandos there, as a lot of people call them. They will be also in the episode there as well. Sim that one there. So feature game there will be, of course, Seattle. We'll play them. We'll see how well we do there coming up here in the next episode. So stay tuned for more the Sporting Kansas City here as we wrap up this episode inside the Cauldron. Like I said, this has been a fun series here. I'm hoping to continue it here, even though FIFA 20 has been out for a while now. We'll be bouncing back between both games as I'm just, I'm starting to understand how to build a team here, and so far this has been really fun, and hopefully that'll show in FIFA 20 when we're playing in the Wolves series in the Premier League there. So of course I'll make some changes in that too, and I think I talked about that in the introduction episode of that series. So but that is it, you guys. That's it for this episode. Stay tuned for more Sporting Kansas City here on ESGNet. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you guys can be notified of when this series or any other series here on the channel is uploaded to you guys here on ESGNet on YouTube. So that's it. Check us out also on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. Links are down below in the description. Check us out there for the latest news and events on what's going on here on the channel and what's going on in the world of sports and in sports gaming in general. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and stay tuned for the upcoming episode for Sporting Kansas City as we take on Seattle. They're in Seattle coming up. As always, keep yourselves rather healthy, and I will see you guys next time.